Today I've got a brand new hybrid pair to introduce you to, and we're going to check out the progress of the Mule and hybrid pairs for this breeding season. Hi everyone, I'm Oliver and welcome back to OC Aviary. So this is the new hybrid pair. I've been looking over the past couple of months of exactly what would be the best pairing, and I'm talking about for the hen. The hen here is a two-barred crossbill mixed with a parrot crossbill. So it's half and half of two different subspecies, I guess, of crossbill, therefore shouldn't be bred back with other crossbills. So we've chosen that a hybrid is the best thing to do with it. It's the best use for her. Now, last year we tried it with a older greenfinch cock and sadly we had nothing from them. However, this year we are retrying that similar pairing with a European greenfinch cock and a young one at that as well. So we've got a young yellow European greenfinch cock with a buff mixed breed crossbill hen. We've been looking at the other suitable pairings perhaps for this hen, perhaps a linnet we did have a look at, but we had some linnets come in and I felt that the linnet would be better suited to be bred with other linnets. It was a good quality bird, so I decided that a young greenfinch that I bred this year would be the best pairing. Now, these are some of the expected outcomes for a greenfinch crossbill hybrid. Lovely birds, especially if you can get a yellow one. They look absolutely fantastic. I'm sure they'll do all right for me on the show bench as well. And also, it comes to my attention that actually this hybrid can have a higher chance of being fertile. A couple of years ago, a good friend had one of these hybrids which he put with a greenfinch hen, and it just so happened to produce youngsters, and has then gone on to continue to produce youngsters, and that was half parrot crossbill, half European greenfinch, and then has so forth gone on to breed. So it's a bit of an interesting pairing. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out of this pairing, but either way it's going to be something to look forward to for this breeding season. With part of the pair being crossbill, they're not really suitable to have in cages. They're very active birds for one, and two, they chew everything to bits. If I had them in a wooden cage and that crossbill hen was in there, she'd chew it to bits. I think she'd probably have a good go at one of the UPVC cages. And that is exactly why we've got these flights, is that they're going to be ideal for housing these species that like to destroy things. So these are aluminium flight cages, and we're going to be looking to put that pair in at least probably a half of these. So perhaps sort of this half, for example, that's 3 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot deep. So that's really plenty of room, and I'm sure she'll breed in that. If I feel it's necessary, we can give her the whole length, and that'll be a 6 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot flight. She's going to be absolutely fine in there, and I do have high hopes that we could actually produce this hybrid with a greenfinch and a crossbill being very similar species, I guess. They do sort of coexist in the wild quite well. They have a similar diet and they're relatively similar in size and almost sort of breeding habits as well. In the wild, crossbills have been documented breeding in every single month of the year, so it's all based on pretty much food availability rather than hours of light. However, in captivity, that's slightly different. It's generally after the new year you would expect crossbill to go down. Earlier nesters would probably go down at the start of January. I guess the normal sort of point would be mid-February to early March. However, that is a little bit too early for our greenfinch cock. Greenfinches will go down from sort of mid-March up until into the summer, probably July for the last nests. So we need to get a little bit of a midpoint between when these two birds are going to come into condition, and that will take into account that the crossbill hen is a 2-year-old and the greenfinch cock is a 1-year-old. So we need to get this crossover. We need to hold the crossbill hen back while slightly getting the greenfinch cock forwards, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Previously, when I've bred common crossbills, I noticed that come the time when the birds are coming ready to breed and they're fit, is that they increase the amount that they chew. As soon as they've done molting in September, October sort of time, they're not chewing an awful lot, but March you can expect them to be stripping pine branches, no problem. Now, I've noticed that my crossbill hen has not really been chewing that much at this moment in time, which is a good sign for us bringing the greenfinch cock into condition. She's been getting branches, so I've been giving her some fruit tree branches, I've been giving her a couple of little bits of pine, and I've been giving her some pine cones as well. The greenie cock we don't expect to breed until at least probably the beginning of April for a young bird. So we need to make sure that we hold the greenie hen off and perhaps slightly bring the greenfinch cock forward. I'm going to show you exactly how I plan on trying to bring these guys into condition at the same time, and that is using pine pollen. It's a purified pollen from a pine tree, of course. I'm allergic to pollen, I have hay fever, so this might cause me a few problems, but it'll be okay if we breed a hybrid, I'll get over it. So I'm going to be giving them this in their egg food or sprinkle a little bit on the seed, and I'm going to begin doing that at the beginning of March to build them up over 4 weeks, and I'm hoping by the time we come to actually put the nest sites in, set up their cages in the beginning of April, they'll be all ready and they'll be in sync, ready to breed, because I'll be using this, which hopefully will bring them into condition at the same time. And of course I will be giving them all the normal sort of conditioning things as well: vitamins, egg food, conditioning seed, germinated seed as well. I am hopeful with this pair. They are sort of bonding. They've been together for a month now. I've seen her asking to be fed, and I've seen the young greenie cock, bless him, trying to imitate her. So if she's been chewing a pistachio, he's been having a go at one of the shells. So I think they'll get there. They will happily pretty much sit on the same perch together and roost together at night, but we'll just have to see how they get on. We've got a good 6 weeks to get them bonded before we might be looking to see if they'll go down. So I am hopeful. Keep your fingers crossed and we'll see what happens. These are the 5 mule and hybrid pairs we've had together since at least October. They've been bonding well over the winter months and been seeing them feeding each other. They've been doing really well. They've been sat on the same perches. So let's take a closer look at them. These are the 2 hybrid pairs here. A hybrid is a finch crossed with another finch. These are 2 pairs that we've had the previous breeding season. The first pair here is a lesser red pollcock bird with an English bullfinch hen. We had 2 full eggs from this pair last breeding season, one in June, one in July. However, one ended dead in shell. The other died after a few days because of the heat waves in July. And then the next pair is a European greenfinch cock with a Siberian bullfinch hen. This pair getting on really well as well. I've seen them feeding each other, saw them mating last season. The only problem is they produced as a full egg last season, which was also in the July heat waves, which we sadly lost. And these are the 3 mule pairs. A mule is a finch crossed with a canary. So we've got 3 pairs for this season, all pairs we haven't tried before. The first pair are a young European twite with a yellow Norwich hen. The Norwich hen has been successful in producing me youngsters in previous years. She's produced me Norwich young and she's produced me Goalie mules. This is the last breeding season I think we're going to have her for, so I've put her with a bouncing young twite cock, which hopefully, fingers crossed, will produce us some lovely twite mules. The next pair is a European linnet with a intensive red factor hen. Both young birds, both actually intensive yellows. Now it's recommended you don't pair yellow to yellow, it does harden the feather and you can end up with further problems down the line. However, because this is a mule in pair, it's going to give us the intensity in colour, and because they're mules, they're infertile, so they're not going to cause any problems further down that line. So fingers crossed with that pair. They've been getting on really well. I've seen them feeding each other, they roost together at night and he sings to her, and they're not really mating at the moment because it's too early, but really promising signs. And the final is actually a trio. We've got a brown pastel mutation siskin cock, European siskin that is, with 2 canary hens. He's with an clear, intensive, yellow, cinnamon, red-eyed, 5 canary hen, so it's got all sorts with that, and I'm really hopeful that they'll produce us some nice mules. And is also with a yellow dimorphic hen. We're going to run those guys as a trio. We're going to run them in a triple set like this. We're going to have wire dividers. We're going to have the siskin cock in the middle and let him into each hen, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll work nicely for us. A known common problem with especially bullfinches, but mainly the Siberians, is something called gapes. It's when they're gasping for air, they look uncomfortable when they're breathing. I'm not quite sure why this is. I've found that pretty much no matter what I do, they end up suffering from it at some point, and generally it's been from the middle of January to the end of February. They'll sort of pick it up and show the symptoms of it. I keep my cages clean, I keep the ventilation good. Maybe it's just the increase in humidity, even when I've got dehumidifiers on. So something I use to cure this is called S76. You want 2.5 ml to the 1 litre of water. You want it for 3 consecutive days in the first week and 2 days each week for a further 3 weeks. I give them that, put it in the water for the Siberian bully hen, who's just sort of started with it now. Fingers crossed, within a couple of weeks, a month or so, she'll have picked up, she'll be absolutely fine, and she'll be good for this breeding season. She did it last year, her parents did it 2 or 3 years before, so it doesn't surprise me, and you've just got to make sure you're on top of it and you're ready for when it does happen. A huge thank you to every single one of you who regularly supports the channel, is subscribed and watches our videos, even follows us on social media. We've had an absolutely amazing response to the release of the video of the new bird room. Currently about 95,000 views on it at the moment and counting, so thank you so much to every single one of you, and please continue to support the channel. It's so much appreciated. So if you have enjoyed today's video and you'd like to see more from OC Avery and you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any more future content. And if you have enjoyed it today, smash a like on it as well. And also, why not follow us on social media? Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok as well. So if you do want to follow those, the link's in the description for that. We've got plenty of behind the scenes footage, daily footage as well, of reels, all close-ups of the birds, and there's loads more to come soon to be announced on there as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.